Hello guys, welcome to the chess analyzer. I am Arnav and today I am going to show you a beautiful chess trap in the Caro kann defense. So let's begin. So the Caro kann defense is e4, c6, d4, g5. Over here we have knight to c3, pawn takes pawn and knight takes pawn. The classical variation. Over here, the most common response from black is to play bishop to f5 and the lines goes long way ahead. But if your opponent plays knight to d7, here it is one more line, but there is a beautiful chess trap over here. That is, after this you play queen e2. The main plan by playing knight to d7 is to bring your knight to f6 again. So you play now queen to e2 in order to mate on knight to d6 mother mate. After knight f6, you go knight to d6 and it's a beautiful checkmate. Over here, if your opponent does not play knight f6 and saves the mate by playing somewhat queen c7, then you again here have a beautiful move, that is g3. You have, in order to play bishop to f4. Over here, your opponent must play d6 and bishop f4 and queen a5, b5 check. Sorry, a5 check. And over here, again, we are threatening the queen, and this position is okay, and the queen has to retreat after c3 and b4. The queen has to retreat to b6 or d8. But if your opponent does not play d6 and plays knight to f6, then he is gone. After bishop to f4, he has only move, that is queen to a5 check. Remember, after queen b6, we give this knight to d6 check, and king d8 is forced and knight f7. After king 8, you lose the rook. So there is only one move left, that is playing queen a5 check. Here also we have a very beautiful move, that is b4. After b4, it is forced to capture and you have c3. The pawn is supported by the knight, and now queen must go back to b6 or a5, and over here we have this knight d6 check, king d8 and knight into f7 wins the game, because after king to e8 we go knight into rook. Also, this h2 and b8 diagonal is controlled by the dark square bishop, so the only move to avoid this is by playing d6 and not knight f6, because the king gets a chance to go to e7. Like if you play bishop to f4, then queen a5 check. If you play this time b4, then queen into b4, you lose the pawn. c3, queen b6, and after knight to d6 check, here the black king goes king to e7. You cannot play bishop to g5 check, because king takes knight is also possible, and the king go, even if you give the check, king retreats back, and there is no major threat to this. And even you cannot give this check because knight takes, over here you lose your queen. So it is time for me to go, guys. Hope you like the video. If you like, please like and hit the subscribe button so I can make more of chess traps, my openings, and game of different icons. For the time, bye guys.